ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up, hey. 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 Way down in the back.
Hey! We are live! Man, oh man. Yeah, run it back. I mean, man. Yes. Yes. That, I mean,
ding, ding,
man,
ding,
it
ding,
is.
ding. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Man,
Breaking news, Reagan.
breaking news.
LSU's going to Omaha.
LSU is going to Omaha.
LSU's going to freaking Omaha.
It is long overdue. I am super excited for the LSU Tigers. I'm so excited for some of these guys. Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, Gavin Dugas, Cade Beloso, Hayden Travinsky. Man, these guys who have been around this program, who've been faithful to this program, stuck it through the coaching change, and man, they've earned it. They deserve it. And man, last night you just can't help but, man, be a little emotional. Y'all got to quit texting. That's what y'all need to do. You and Dad. That's my computer.
Put it on D&D.
That's what I'm streaming through. No, I'm just messing with y'all. So, man, I'm proud for them. And last night you couldn't just help but be a little bit emotional, a little sentimental for those guys. I'm so pumped for them, and I'm so freaking ready to go back to Omaha. And I want to go to Omaha so bad and watch these guys play so bad. Maybe we can make that work out. Maybe so. But the Tigers are Omaha bound, Zach. I mean, what's your initial thought coming off of last night?
Like you said, Reagan, I said this on the last show, like no matter what happened, it was going to be bittersweet. And, watching all these guys that we've mentioned throughout this season, it's been incredible to get to watch them go through the season and to be able to finally reach their goal, right? I mean, a lot of people, when we came to the season, we had extremely high expectations because we knew what this team was capable of. And there was definitely extreme highs and there were some lows as well during this season with the pitching and with injuries, and with moments when the offense seemed like it couldn't hit in the clutch. Like there was always moments. There was moments in time during the season where we questioned it, and rightfully so. It was rightfully so to be questioned. But when the lights came on and the pressure was on and the Tigers had to get it done, they have been dominant. Dominant the entire way. The closest game you had was game 2 in the regional against
Oregon State.
Been your best opponent so far. And that includes Kentucky, who has been your best opponent so far in this postseason.
I would agree.
Outside of that, you have completely dominated every other game. You dominated the Tulane game. You dominated game 3. You dominated game 1 against Kentucky, and you dominate when you needed to win and advance and not put yourself in any danger of having to rely on kind of a bullpen type day. I understand probably Herb was going to go game 3 if you had to use them, but you were able to get the job done with your best arms. And I mean, it was a phenomenal job this weekend. I'm just so proud of the Tiger faithful for showing out, especially on freaking Saturday when you had like a million delays and it,
7 hour delay.
yeah, you had a 7-hour delay and it felt like the game would never get played. It felt like it was going to get pushed to the early morning, and the fans hung around and they had a massive crowd. Phenomenal job by the Tiger fan base to show up even through all those delays for this team. Game 1 and game 2, it felt like it was going to happen, Reagan. I mean, I felt like, yeah, it was destiny. It felt like it was meant to be that the Tigers were going to go to Omaha. When you knew what you had coming in this season, it just felt like it was meant to be. And gosh, man, what a way to end it. And what a way. I mean, it's not over, obviously, but what a way to reach the goal that you have been aiming for all season. It was a phenomenal job. I'm just so proud. I mean, Reagan, it's been, what, 6 years? Been 6 years since they went to Omaha.
Yeah.
It's been 6 years since you last went to Omaha, and we've been cheering for the Tigers, ever since 2009. There's been a lot of chances that LSU has had in Omaha. Feels like this might be one of your best chances that we've seen. Obviously, I mean, out past 2009. I mean, you watched 2009 championship when LSU beat Texas. We watched that as very young kids. And ever since then, we've been rooting for them to get back into that championship series. And it seems like LSU has a real legitimate shot this year. Of course, that has to be played out. But, man, I'm just so pumped and excited for this team. Even if you go, I mean, I would hate for them to go 0-2 in this, in Omaha. Even if you go 0-2, man, you're just so happy that they made it to Omaha. I mean, for all those guys that haven't been to Omaha, Dylan and JT and Trey, I mean, even Gavin Dugas and Kay Beloso, they haven't seen Omaha, right?
Right.
So, I mean, because they came on they were freshmen in 2018. Is that correct? I think so, because they're both fifth-year seniors. So they were probably freshmen in season 2019, whatever it was exactly. So it's a really bittersweet moment. They all played their final games at Tiger Stadium, but they're going to Omaha.
Yeah, they are, and I think we kind of called it, Zach. We both felt like it was going to be 2-0, and it was going to be dominant, and that's exactly what you got. Obviously, the second game was a little bit closer than the first. I mean, the first was just an absolute, rout. In terms of the weather delay, Zach, it was well worth the wait.
So much so. Whenever Trey hit that homer, it was like, I'm good.
Man, it was so sweet. I mean, 6 home runs on the night. It just felt like everybody was catching a barrel. The only one who I was missing out was Travinsky this weekend.
Yeah.
He's the only one who missed out. He almost got one out before Beloso did.
A couple of times.
Beloso came up after, Travinsky got one, with a little bit of wind going out, it would have been gone.
Yeah.
And Beloso comes up after him. This is in the second game and puts up that 3-run home run. But, man, it just felt like everybody was hitting on Saturday night, all cylinders clicking. And with Paul Skeens on the mound and our bats rolling like that, they had no chance. It was just a dominant performance. I mean, you said it perfectly, Zach, in our text, our group text, that when Paul Skeens is on the mound, LSU is without question the best team in all of college baseball. There's nobody beating us. No doubt. There's nobody beating us playing like this with Paul Skeens on the mound. I mean, it just they're the best whenever he's on the mound, and man, it was phenomenal watching that Saturday night, and it was definitely worth the wait. I mean, these comments are flying in already, Zach. Maybe we need to get to a few of them.
Yeah, we got a bunch of comments flying in. Let's see. Carl Dunn's in here. He said, "Let's go." Robert has been a steady follower with us for a while now. He said, "Go Southern Miss." I'm with him. I want Southern Miss to
I want
win
the Golden
game.
Eagles.
That's going to be starting here in about 30 minutes or so, or 40 minutes, I should say. Carl said, "Looks like the guys got the grooves back." Tyler Townsend. He said, "What's up, guys? What's up, Tyler? I'm going to text. I'm going to hit you back up. I'm the worst
Liar.
responder.
Liar.
I am a terrible responder when
Liar.
it comes to during game for Tyler. So, Tyler, just message me on Tigers Avenue. Just message me on Tigers Avenue account, and you'll get a response from me. I promise. My personal, you're probably not going to get a response. Just hit me up on Tigers Avenue. You're going to have a lot better chance of having a conversation with me back and forth during the game. Trust me. Or hit me up and I'll text you I will text you my personal cell phone number, okay? And we can go back and forth and add you in. That's totally cool. Carl Dunn, Dylan Cruz might have wrapped up the Golden Spikes Award after that, which we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I don't want to spoil it.
That's going to be tough, man. That's going to be tough.
That is very tough. That is very, very tough. Ryan, I'm here. What's up, TA? Pastor Reagan and brother Tebow Strange.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, I'm okay being compared to, a pretty good looking, right? Pause, but pretty good looking dude, and Tim Tebow, and a extremely smart individual in Doctor Strange. So, if you want to give me the looks of Tim Tebow and the IQ of Doctor Strange, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Not a bad combo.
So far right now, Texas and Stanford are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 4th. I gave that update in there. Ryan said it would almost be a travesty if they go into an Omaha, considering how far this team has come over the last few years. I do not think they're going 0-2. I'm just, I was just putting it out there. Even if they went 0-2, man,
it's always a possibility.
Always a possibility, but just for them to get to this point was awesome. Doug Nose says, I was there for the long wait. It was a long day.
Shoot.
We had pizza and more beer delivered to the parking lot. Hey, they done messed up. They gave LSU fans 7 hours to get prepped for that game. And I was listening to Musso at the Box, his podcast today, and he said, man, it was rowdy. It was rough and rowdy once they finally got in there at 9 p.m. and got the game going. And he said when Trey hit the home run in first, he's like, the stadium shook. Everything, it was rattling. Everything was rattling because they were going absolutely berserk.
They did.
It was awesome.
They did. That crowd was stupid loud when he hit that first one.
Oh, Troy Shockley said the game Sunday was unbelievable. I'm so glad y'all got to go. Man, we're trying to pull off right now, potentially going to Omaha. We'll see. We're going to try to pull that off. That'd be awesome. Robert also said, how about last night, that Stanford picture going 150 pitches?
Nuts.
Yeah, dude, 156.
Nuts.
That dude's insane. He's an ace and has a rubber arm. Good grief. 156 pitches? It's wild. But anyways.
He must be numb out there. I mean, he's just numb.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's got something going on, man. That dude's.
I'll tell you what, man, if somebody's got a slow-mo shot of when Tommy hit his first home run, bro, they showed that clip of when he hit it from the view of the first base line, and he looked to the dugout and he held his arms out, and in the background, just the crowd is going absolutely berserk. Down the third base line. It is one of the sweetest shots of the entire season. It was so clean. I mean, he hit it. He knew by the way, both of his home runs cleared the bleachers. I mean, both of Tommy's home runs on Saturday night were absolute.
The second one
nukes.
was
one was, oh my gosh. That was probably his furthest home run of the year. His second one. I mean, he cleared the scoreboard, out in left field and an absolute bomb. But yeah, that shot of Tommy jogging first base line, holding his hands out towards the dugout, and the fans are going nuts in the background. That is the shot of the year. It was incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, Troy said that second home run was crushed.
There's no doubt about it.
Tyler has a really good question. We'll get to this on Friday, Tyler. I promise you. So hold that thought for about 4 days. It's a good question, but and I know we heavily discussed the regional and what we thought about when Paul Skeens had pitched, but we'll discuss that more on Friday. I fully believe he should go on in game one.
We'll give you the
I
preview.
understand a lot of people probably want to hold him for weight. Look, don't count out Stanford, man. Don't count. I mean, you got to do that. Can throw 156 pitches and 16 Ks. Got to believe he's going to be pitching.
Miss? Oh, you're talking about for against
Stanford
Wake.
against Wake. Yeah, I mean, don't count
Stanford
him out,
or
man.
Texas.
Yeah, I mean, don't count him out. We'll see if Texas or Stanford advances. They're still in the bottom of the fourth, 3-3. So
Stanford scored more runs right now. By the way, it is.
Troy said that that home run had an exit velo of 110 miles. Yeah, I fully believe it. I would have thought it'd been more.
I hate that the NCAA will not allow them to track during postseason play because LSU baseball data, that Twitter. I don't know if y'all follow that or not, but LSU baseball has a Twitter page called LSU Baseball Data, and
follow it.
They have the exit velos for every game, and then like a home run, they have the exit velo, the angle of the exit, the peak point of it, and how far it went. I hate that during the postseason we can't have that. That I want to throw a riot over the NCAA and all their stupid choices that they always continually make. I've never seen an organization that loves to ruin their product more than the NCAA. I mean,
dude,
absurd.
I'm already pissed that the NCAA posted a bracket that was like LSU is in bracket 1 and bracket 1's going to play on Friday, and then they post the schedule today.
If you literally look at, if you literally go on NCAA.com, it has LSU in bracket 1 with Wake Forest, and then whoever wins the 2 games tonight. It has us in bracket 1, and they released a bracket for the whole College World Series, the whole Omaha bracket, and had bracket 1, bracket 2, and had June 16th, bracket 1, game 2, 1 o'clock, 6 p.m. So LSU, you would assume, being in bracket 1, would play in
and based on the NCAA's release of the bracket that says bracket 1 will be playing on Friday.
They're playing on Saturday.
No, they're playing Saturday.
Gosh. So they're playing Saturday. I don't know. Anyways, but also all the no celebrating stuff, the all year long has been atrocious. I mean, you just not want guys to have fun when they do something awesome. Anyways.
Some old heads that need to go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Anyways, LSU is Omaha bound, Zach, and this weekend was fantastic, and I think it could possibly be the most complete weekend we have seen all season long from LSU. These past 2 weekends have, I think, been their best baseball all season long, and man, they just seem like they're clicking on all cylinders. And we can kind of use this to transition into our regional recap, and we can kind of cover game 1, game 2, and kind of break those down more analytically. So game 1, obviously you had the rain delays that pushed you back to 9 o'clock. Stupid. You know, a lot of LSU fans were worried about Paul Skeens and, was it actually going to play out because – we delayed at 2 o'clock and there's been no rain all day long. And now there's actually a threat for weather. There's actual rain. And, we were worried, do you even start Skeens and should we even play the game today? Well, it starts, it plays, and boy, it turned out good. I mean, Zach, what were your thoughts on Saturday night's game?
Yeah, so I consider that too. I was like, considering everything that's happened, you've had to get Skeens warmed up like
twice,
3 or no, it was like Reagan. It was like I think he got warmed up
3 or 4 times. Yeah,
3 or 4 times. He mentioned in his interview in game 2. Like So, he's having to go, that's definitely out of routine, obviously.
Oh, no
You're not,
doubt.
you only warm up typically once, in routine. And so he's having to redo his routine multiple times. It was confusing. It was frustrating, as a fan and as just somebody who loves the game. It was extremely frustrating because we're expecting, okay, 2 o'clock comes. No, it's going to be 7. Okay, now I got to wait another 5 hours. You wait another 5 hours. No, it's going to be 8. Okay, now I got to wait another hour. Like, a lot of people are upset because they planned their day around the game, as myself, and then you have to wait and then you have to keep waiting. And so you end up just sitting around the whole day waiting for the game. That's literally what happened. Like, I had planned my whole day around my whole schedule, my whole day around the scheduled time of the game. I was going to go take care of some things in my car, run some errands, stuff like that. Not happening. Instead, you're going to stay your butt on the couch and wait for the game to start. And that's exactly what I did. I stayed my butt on the couch. I did watch some of the Alabama Wake Forest game, which was a really good game. Game 1 was. Game 2, obviously, was not even a competition. But anyways, finally, it gets to 9 o'clock, and like Dad's even saying, like, I don't even know if I can stay up for all this. Like, I hope it's handled early, like all that stuff. And finally it gets going, and it didn't even matter because LSU just completely dominated. And it was exactly what you needed. Imagine having to go through all of that. Imagine the fans that actually were there at the game having to go through all of that, and it being a nail biter or a game, like worst case scenario, you lose the game. Imagine if that had been the case, but it wasn't at all because LSU came in. It did not matter what was going on that day. The delays didn't matter. All the talk didn't matter. Nothing mattered at all. All that mattered was for LSU. It was business. That's all it was. And they came in there and they immediately ended the game after, like, what was it, the third inning or fourth inning, something like that. I mean, it was over. I mean, once Tommy hit the home run, you knew it was over. Like, you just knew it was over. Skeens was dealing. There was no question in my mind after Tommy hit the 2-run jack, and then Trey followed it. Like, it was like, this is over. This is over. It's a rout. Yeah. I sat back. Typically, so to give y'all a visual of what I typically am like during games, I'm very antsy, and Reagan knows this. I'm very antsy. I can't stay seated. I'm up and down, like I'm standing. And then I'm sitting on the floor, and then I'm sitting on the chair, like right next to the TV. Like, I'm up and down, very antsy. After Trey hit the home run, I leaned back in the seat and kicked my feet up and just tweeted out my tweets, about the game, and sat back and enjoyed it. Like, I could finally relax and enjoy it.
You're talking about Trey's second home run?
After Trey's second home run. Yeah. Like, the day had been extremely stressful because of everything going on and waiting and everything and all the questions around schemes. Like, it made it an extremely stressful day for an LSU fan. As for me, and, I get on Twitter and I see Jocks has posted, like, these people are walking out the stadium. They're like, I'm going home. Like, they're pissed off and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh gosh, it's going to be a terrible crowd. Da, 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 da. And, and I was worried it's going to be a nail biter because of all this, and none of that was true. LSU came in. They completely dominated the entire facet of the game. LSU fans in the stands, LSU fans on the couches could sit back, relax, and enjoy it and just go, all right, we just got to get one more. And that's all that was Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Skeens was a huge highlight too. I mean, absolutely blanked Kentucky's offense. I mean, they had nothing for Skeens.
No.
Well, what I loved about Skeens is, the first go round with Kentucky and Skeens, they touched him up a lot. They were sitting on the fastball because he throws the fastball more than he does any other pitch.
Which, again, we discussed that. It was probably because LSU got up on him fast, and he just decided to stay in the zone.
Yeah, sure. And they barreled several up and got, I think, 7 hits, 5 runs off of him. But man, they had a plan this time, and he mixed his pitches a lot more than he normally does. And I think that's why you weren't seeing as many strikeouts Saturday night.
That's what Mingione said. I mean, he
Yeah,
said, he first off, he said, well, the last time he faced him, he wasn't throwing 102, and he also wasn't throwing the breaking balls nearly as much as he was this time going.
No, he was mixing his pitches a lot more this time, and it kept the hitters off balance, and I mean they just had no answer for it, and they were, it turned into a lot of all those breaking balls turned into a lot of quick outings. I mean, he was getting pop flies and ground balls, 1-2 pitches into the count,
he had a phenomenal pitch count.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was at like 40. He was less than 50 pitches in the fifth inning when he started the fifth inning. I mean, he was cruising.
I think he was at 49 or something like that.
Yeah. And, there was the one inning where Cruz fell down and the ball dropped, and then he like got a walk or something, and the pitch count got back to normal, I would say, not up. It got back to like a normal pitch count.
Yeah.
Because really where
he
he
was
was
like
at
5
was,
extra pitchers than he would have.
And he cruised, man, and rolled right through Kentucky's lineup time after time. And
time after time.
Yeah. And with the offense backing him up the way it was probably the easiest, super regional win I think I've ever watched. One of the easiest super regional wins I've ever watched. And he went into the 8th and got 2 outs, got 2 strikeouts, and he got a well-deserved standing ovation.
Mm-hmm.
I was, his pitch count would have surely allowed him to go a full game if he would have wanted to.
For sure.
If Jay wanted him to and he wanted to, and he easily could have gone full game. No problem whatsoever. But he deserved to have that standing ovation that one last time walking off in Alex's box, and he got it. And man, what a moment that was. What a moment that was for him, for LSU fans. I mean, just the season he's had, that was incredible. So for me, I know that the bats were rolling Saturday night and they were popping off. I mean, 6 home runs. For me, it was Paul Skeens who was the star of the night. I mean, one of his most dominant performances we've seen. And he didn't even get double-digit strikeouts.
Yeah.
But it was still, just a dismantling of their offense, of their lineup, and it was a lot of fun to watch when the other side of the ball you're hitting, 6 home runs. That was a lot of fun to watch. Analytically speaking, Zach Lee was, their ace. Speaking of Zach Lee, Zach, I appreciate you allowing all those home runs.
Yeah, I used kind of my telekinetic powers to make sure he was going to screw up. So y'all can thank me, honestly.
Yeah, Zach was out there pitching Saturday night. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But look, Zach Lee was their ace, and man, they were on him. They were on him all night long and chased him early. And, once it got to 7-0, Mingione was conceding. I mean, he literally went to a guy who I think it was like his 7th appearance on the whole season. Had only pitched, pitched less than 20 innings. So the reality had set in that Paul Skeens is not going to allow anything. Our bats are going to continue to crank, and we need to save some bullets. And, he brought in some bullpen arms, and we raked on them too. And score got up to, 14-0. And it was a good night in the box. Regardless of the weather and how late it got, it was a great night in the box. But that was game 1. But game 2, Zach, was a little bit closer, a little bit more competitive. Ultimately, obviously, the Tigers come out on top. What were your thoughts for game 2? I think we'll have a little bit more, kind of analytical talk in this one and how it played out, because it was just a better game in general. I mean, obviously for Tiger fans, we love game 1, but in terms of a baseball game, it was just a better game. So what were your thoughts on game 2?
It honestly played out exactly how I wanted it to. And here's the reason why, because I knew Mason Moore was going to come into the game. I knew he was going to be the first pitcher out of the pen. And I knew he's got phenomenal stuff. And I knew most likely he was probably going to shut down LSU's bats. So I knew you had to score early. And then I knew you had to hold on to that lead during the Mason Moore stint and then try to get him out of the game and then try to score late to put the game away. And that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. Of course, Strickland was the starter for Kentucky. LSU got to him early with the Cade Beloso 3-run jack. I mean, and what a story for Cade Beloso, honestly.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I'll pat myself on the back, right? As Blake did for me the other night. You know, a lot of people were like, I don't know about Beloso, like da. I was like, dude, he needs to be in the freaking lineup. Put him in the freaking lineup.
Yep.
They inserted into the lineup and they haven't gone back since. He's been in the lineup ever since.
Why would you? Why would you?
He has hit more home runs. I think he's hit the most home run. This is the most home runs he's hit in a single season in his career.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I think he hit 12 his freshman year. Something like that. So, I mean, this is the best. Like, it's the most powerful it's the most power that he's had in his career, hitting the most home runs in his career in a single season. Like, he has been a staple in this lineup. And, he was the one that put you on the board early. And that's what you needed. That's what you needed in a game like this. You needed something early and you needed to get to the starter early because I knew Mason Moore was coming in the game, and I've watched Mason Moore 2 or 3 times outside of when LSU played him earlier this season, and he's freaking good. He is, in my opinion, and I went back and forth with a guy on Twitter about this. In my opinion, he's their ace, right? In my opinion, what is an ace? To me, an ace in baseball is your best pitcher. Not your Friday guy. And now sometimes your ace is your Friday guy, right? I mean,
majority
LSU,
of the time.
for example, Paul Skeens, right? But to me, the ace is your best pitcher. Your best pitcher. And to me, Kentucky's best pitcher is Mason Moore. And so when he came into the game, I knew we were going to have to rely on the bullpen to continue to stack zeros and just match what Mason Moore was doing. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And to think about this game, Reagan, right? We go back to when LSU was slipping a little in the regular season, right? And we didn't put them out, obviously. We weren't saying, oh, they're not even going to make Omaha. We were like, hey, these are some concerns. This is something that could potentially keep you from making it to Omaha, right? Was the bullpen and clutch hitting. And what did LSU do in this game? What did they do in this game? They had clutch hits, Cade Beloso, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and he hits a 3-run bomb. That's a clutch situation. You got guys on the base pads. You need runs in that type in this type of ball game.
Lead. Yeah.
Chance to take the lead. And what does he do? You get a clutch hit. The last 2 weekends, LSU has come up with clutch hits time and time again. Last weekend, it was in the form of Hayden Travinski and Josh Pearson. This weekend, it was in the form of your veterans, Cade Beloso and Dylan Cruz. Cade Beloso gets a 3-run shot to give you the lead. And then, the question mark from late in the regular season, are we going to have a bullpen that can make it through, right, the postseason? Are we going to have a bullpen that can get us through Omaha? Insert Riley Cooper and Gavin Guidry, who do nothing but put up zeros.
Man, how about Gavin Guidry, man?
The bullpen didn't allow any runs this super. Did they allow any runs in the regional?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about.
I don't know if they did. If they did, like I don't think it was that much.
I think the only runs they allowed was the bullpen guys who played game 3 against Oregon State. Like you were pitching a bullpen day with Cooper and with.
But they didn't really allow a lot of runs, hardly at all.
But in terms of like a starter pitching and then like a bullpen coming in, not really at all.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Not really at all.
So it was a massive job by the bullpen. Phenomenal job by Riley Cooper and Gavin Guidry. And holy cow, Gavin Guidry. I mean, think about the future for that. I mean, I understand we're in this moment right now where it's this team and what this team can do, but like think about the future, what this does for the future of Gavin Guidry at LSU these next following 2 seasons.
Yep.
The experience and the adversity he has faced this season and the moments that he's come into, these big, huge clutch moments. I mean, I think back to South Carolina, whenever Gavin Dugas gave you, tied it up. Of course, Beloso gives you the lead in the 8th. Who do they put in? Gavin Guidry. And Gavin Guidry shuts it down. I mean, you think about all the way back to South Carolina, and that was when they were still developing him. And now, I mean, he is your closer. I mean, he is your closer right now. Yep. If you got a 1-run ball game, if you got a tight ball game, and they need somebody to come and shut the door, it's gonna be Gavin Guidry or possibly Thatcher Hurd. But Gavin Guidry is the guy right now. The breaking ball is insane. Me and Blake were texting back and forth, and I got a little nervous. Heading into the 9th because if LSU wasn't going to do anything, I was like, man, they've been sitting breaking ball. And there's a couple times they touched him up, but it was foul or, just barely foul. We remember the one that was right down the line that barely went foul.
Yeah.
There was a long one hit right field that went just foul in the stands. Like there was I got a little nervous, and I texted Blake and I was like, they're sitting breaking ball, but they haven't been able to hit it yet. They never were able to hit the rest of the entire game. Like that breaking ball is insane. So, man, it was just a phenomenal job. And then obviously, the biggest moment of the night, when you're up and you got to put the game away, you finally chase Mason Moore.
Yep.
He throws the most amount of pitches that he has in this entire season. He's at 90, I think it was 92 or something like that, or maybe high 80s on his pitch count. You finally chase Mason Moore, and it just felt like once you chase Mason, like you have a really good chance to break through. You have a really good chance to break through.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what happened. Tigers got guys on. Obviously, I'm forgetting, Reagan, help me out here. Who went before Joe Bear hit the shot? JT walked. Joe Bear hit the shot right at the pitcher.
Yeah, about took his head off.
I mean, hit an absolute just rocket right at the pitcher. He gets on. Pearson draws a walk. You have a wild pitch, and it sets the stage for what is arguably the most clutch hit in that type of moment. And what I mean by that type of moment, I'm talking about it's your last AB in Alex Box Stadium, right? You're never going to take another AB in Alex Box Stadium in a real game, right? Real game situation. Dylan Cruz is never going to take another AB in a real game situation in Alex Box Stadium ever again. And you have the chance to put the absolute dagger in the hearts of the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yep.
You get a 3-1 count because they're nitpicking around the box. You are extremely disciplined like you have been the entire season, and then you crush a 3-1 breaking ball to left field to put the dagger in their hearts and step on their throat and end the game in advance to Omaha. Oh, my gosh, Reagan. I mean, it was huge moment. I went absolutely ballistic. And I also was texting Blake about this. Dude, I got nervous. I got so nervous when it was 5-3. I literally was like chewing my nails. Like this ring finger right here started bleeding. It started bleeding. I was so nervous that LSU was going to give it away late in those innings that I was chewing my nails and made my right ring finger bleed. And Dylan Cruz erased all of those doubts, all of those fears, and he puts the nail in the coffin. And it was, I mean, then just like on Saturday night, just like on Saturday night after the 2 homers back to back by Tommy and Trey, it was finally like, okay, I can relax now. Because that game, for a large part of it, during those middle innings while Mason Moore was pitching, it got nerve wracking. It didn't feel like the lead was safe.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Whenever he made that hit, I didn't even celebrate like the way I thought I would. Like, I didn't go berserk. Like, I didn't like just freak out. I was just like, yes, like
what a moment.
What a moment! Like part of me when the situation played out, I was like, he's gonna get hit. This is it.
He's gonna get hit.
I was like, it's the 9th inning. This is his last AB. It's about to happen. And so when it happened, like I was like, yep. And I was just like, this is incredible.
Meant to be.
And I was just kind of taking the moment in. So I wasn't having my normal like, let's go. Like I typically do.
I did have that reaction. I mean, me and Dad
I typically do that. I'm typically right there with you. But in the moment, I was sitting in my recliner, and of course, the kids were asleep, and I was trying to be quiet because McKenna had to go to work too, and I was just like, it's the 9th inning, and he has a chance to put this thing away, and he's going to do it, and I knew it was going to happen, and when it happened, I was just like, wow, this is incredible, and watching him stand on second base and pump his jersey and point to the Tigers
Dude, holy cow!
I mean,
it almost made me emotional when he did this.
Yeah,
it's like
when he started doing that, I was like, he recognized the moment. He realized what that moment was.
Completely recognized the moment,
and it literally gave me chill bumps when it was happening. I was like, this is one of the coolest moments of all time, and I was just trying to take the moment in because I'm sitting there thinking, this is the greatest player in LSU history, and I just got to watch his last AB at Alex Box be a double down the line to put the dagger in Kentucky's heart, to put the nail in the coffin, to seal the deal for LSU to go to his first trip to Omaha.
I mean, that's something you tell your kids later on.
There's no doubt that is a story I will tell Zeke and Luca like one day when they're old enough and they're cheering for LSU baseball.
Yeah.
And I say, and they think, man, this player's so good. I say, I guarantee you he ain't better than Dylan Cruz.
He ain't as good as Dylan Cruz, man.
And eventually one day I'll be able to take him to Alex Box and you say, you see that number up there?
Yeah.
When it's retired?
Yeah, because it should be. #retire3.
Because it should be retired.
Let me get it in there.
#retire3 and say, I got to watch his last day. Like, that's the kind of moment I was having. Like, that's the moment I was having when that happened.
Yeah, like people that were alive and are still alive, during, Eddie Furness and obviously Ben McDonald, which obviously there's plenty of people that are alive during Ben McDonald's time at LSU, and they got to watch, Ben McDonald's final pitch, and at Alex Box or, stuff like that. Like they got to watch Eddie Furness final AB. Like, they can tell those stories. That's our story.
Walker.
Our stories with Dylan Cruz, right?
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and like people like Alex Bregman and Antoine Duplantis, those kind of guys. When he broke the
record.
tied the record, broke the record. Him and Jake Mangum did it, in the same year, which was insane. Like that, that moment. And, those kind of moments, that was that type of moment for me that, watching that happen last night. That's why I was not like freaking out, but just like before it happened, I was like, he's fixing to do it, and this is going to be incredible. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up being a double, driving in both of them. And I was like, man, I just felt it, and I was like, this is incredible. This is something I will always remember. So that was kind of moment last night with him. In terms of yeah,
I
that
have a
right
new
there.
lock. I have a new lock screen.
So, in terms of like the game, if I want to break it down my own analytical way, which you've already done a good enough job, I feel like, so I won't be redundant. Um, in terms of like what you were just talking about with, I mean, you think about it, guys. We just went 2-0. If you win 3 games in Omaha, you're in the finals. 3 games, and you're in the final.
Yeah.
We just won 2 games. And I think if you have that recipe, Paul Skeens, somebody close game 1, or even if he goes the full game, and then you have Floyd with like Cooper and Guidry to back him up, like, and then you have a ton of arms for game 3.
With
What?
probably starting Thatcher Hurd.
Yeah, probably starting Thatcher Hurd with a ton of arms. Like what we just saw in terms of pitching has given me so much peace about what we can do in Omaha. Like I realize the reality of like, going 0-2. I mean, that's just a possibility. It's baseball. I don't think we're going to do that, but like that's a reality that, somebody has to go 0-2, and it could be LSU. But man, when you got Skeens going game 1, you like your chances every single time. And with the way this team is hitting, if he can give you what he's been giving you, like he did in the regional, like he did yet on Saturday in the super regional against Kentucky, if he can give you that game 1, and then you can get what you got out of Floyd, Cooper, and Guidry in game 2, and it just sets you up for so much success in Omaha. Like, I really like what I saw this weekend out of our pitching. I mean, it is. We used 5 arms, 5.
Yep.
And one of those arms was Blake Money for 4 outs. And the only reason Blake Money had to pitch is so Paul could get his standing ovation. That's the only reason he pitched. Like,
Because Paul
seriously.
could have kept going.
Yes.
And he wanted to save him a little bit, give him a little bit more rest.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, at that point, there's no reason to just, make him burn 30 more pitches to close the game out.
Yeah.
There was no point whatsoever. But I mean, seriously, you could only pitch 4 arms this weekend, and you would have won the game. I mean, you would have won the super regional.
Mm-hmm.
You did it with 5, and it was dominant. And Zach, Thatcher Hurd, Ackenhausen, Griffin Herring, Javen Coleman, like none of those guys pitched.
Not a single one. Thatcher Hurd did not pitch.
None of them pitched. And so to see that this weekend was really reassuring for me as we're heading to Omaha. Like, that was the biggest takeaway for me from this super regional is man, with the bullpen struggling the way they did at the end of the season, they have turned things around tremendously as of late. And I am super excited to see what they can do in Omaha if our lineup keeps hitting the way they are. Because it just feels like LSU is playing their best baseball all year long right now. And right now is the perfect time to be playing your best baseball. And we know this team is probably the most talented team in all of college baseball. We know they have the stuff to get it done. Just go to Omaha and execute it. And I can't wait. I mean, I am so pumped to see how this plays out in Omaha. I can't wait. All right, Zach.
Let's take a quick break.
Yeah, we need to take it. We haven't even taken our first break, and we're 50 minutes in. So let's take a break. We'll come back, get our last segment in, cover some of y'all's comments because we see y'all been commenting in here.
For sure.
And we'll do that right after this.
5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
All right, guys, we are back from the break, and what has been a great show so far. We got a lot of viewers in here. Listen, if you are viewing, if you're just now joining us, go ahead. You can scroll back, listen to our entire conversation. Just relishing in the celebration of the Tigers making Omaha at the beginning, and then of course recapping the Super Regional there in the middle part of the show. Right now, we're just gonna go through some comments. So if you're in here now, send us your comments if you want to discuss anything. On Friday, we will cover in depth Omaha. We'll obviously know who LSU is facing. Southern Miss and Tennessee have probably already had their first pitch. By the way, the Nuggets have brought it back. They're at 60-60 right now. Southern Miss and Tennessee have just started. They haven't even recorded the first out. That's over on ESPNU if you want to catch that game and figure out who LSU will be facing on Saturday at 6 p.m. Go ahead, send in your comments, guys. We got plenty of people listening and watching in here. Please send in your comments before we wrap the show. Let's see what we got. So Peyton, go ahead.
I wanted to say something real quick that we didn't mention earlier. By the way, I thought the defense played great this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to go there too. Yeah,
Tommy White played great at third, which he has struggled with. Sometimes he fielded balls and made great throws.
Hit a lot of chances over at third.
Plays. But holy guacamole, Jordan Thompson with that play.
He's a big league shortstop.
Holy y'all, that was some Derek Jeter. That was some Derek Jeter stuff.
Air Jordan.
Air
JT.
He is running away from first base, backhand pick, jump throw across his body from behind Tommy White. It was
insane.
I don't know if any of us can realize how absolutely stupid that throw was.
It is the second greatest defensive play I have ever seen in my time of watching LSU baseball. And the only other time that I've seen a greater play was Alex Bregman, the 360.
I think Jordan Thompson was better.
Maybe.
Alex Bregman was going
debatable.
Alex Bregman did the 360 past second base, coming back towards first base. JT was going towards third base, jump throw across his body off a back pick. I think both of them incredible. Don't get me wrong.
It's arguable for sure.
Incredible, but there's no question JT's was more difficult. His was no doubt more difficult, but both phenomenal plays, no question. Those two plays are the greatest plays I've seen LSU shortstops make ever.
And I had to give Peyton a hard time.
Anyways, go ahead.
I had to give Peyton a hard time for that. I tweeted him and and I was like, hey, and then I wanted to make sure he knew, like, hey, no bad blood or anything. But I had to pick on you a little bit.
All in good fun. Fun.
And here he is. He said, my son has the home run ball from the region. So who hit it? Who hit the home run?
Cruz. Hey, Cruz? When we were talking about Cruz, he sent that comment in.
Oh man, that's insane.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Peyton.
If you can get it signed, Peyton,
hold on to that forever. Forever.
Yeah. So far, Stanford has taken the lead 63. I picked Stanford, Reagan. How's your picks doing, by the way?
I picked Oral Roberts. I'm trying to think about
Oregon,
the others.
And let me
the only one I got wrong right now is Duke. That's it. That's the only one I got wrong.
Yeah, I picked Duke as well, and Virginia beat them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they came back
after
the
other one. Day one. I picked Southern Miss.
I picked Southern Miss as well.
I picked Bama, and they just about won game one.
I picked Wake Forest, and I had the Longhorns too. So it looks like I might have that pick wrong.
I had Stanford, so we'll see. We'll see if I can get that one. They're in the 6th right now with a 3-run lead. Tennessee has struck out the last two batters after a leadoff. I think it was a single. I don't quote me on it, but I whenever I turned it on, the ball was in the outfield and the center fielder fielded it and then threw it in. So I'm assuming it was a single. So anyways, all right, guys, we're about done, but we have to make this announcement. One for sure announcement.
1.5.
1.5. Okay. I thought it was going to be 2 for sure announcements. And then today, today, right before the show, it became one. Now it's more of a 1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start it off with the half because it's a little let down. So we had fully planned to go to Omaha. Okay?
100%.
Had the tickets ready to purchase. We were waiting to confirm that it was going to be Friday night, 6 p.m. game because Beam just struck out the next batter. He struck out 3 in a row to get out after the leadoff single. So Tennessee is going to the bottom half. Why does Tennessee get the bottom half when it's at USM?
We were
in the second game.
Yeah, in the second. I don't know.
Anyways, fully had planned. Now there's been a bit of a wrench thrown in that plan because we all were set to go Friday. We did not believe Saturday would be doable because Reagan and Dad both have to be back for church Sunday because they are both preachers.
Pastor duties.
Yeah, they got Pat, the Lord and whatnot. I'm just kidding. So kidding. Obviously, the Lord is way more important. There is, guys. Just letting you know, there's way more important things than LSU baseball. Okay?
Absolutely.
Way more important things, and completely understand being a former student pastor myself, and hopefully will be one again someday soon. But they have pastor duties, so they need to be back Sunday morning. Okay, so it was very disheartening having completely planned it out to go to Omaha on Friday and knowing that LSU was in bracket 1 and NCAA released a graphic of bracket 1 being shown for the Friday games, game 1 and game 2, on June 16th. We were pretty confident that LSU was going to be playing. It was just a matter of, is it going to be the 1 o'clock game or is it going to be the 6 p.m. game?
Because we're in bracket 1, according to
we're
NCAA.
in bracket 1, which bracket 1 is playing Friday, but apparently not. Apparently not, because LSU was announced today they're playing at 6 p.m.
Switcheroo. We're playing
Saturday.
bracket 2 now.
They did a complete switcheroo on us. And let's see. Robert said they won the coin. Okay. It's a coin toss for game 3. Gotcha. Interesting. They won the coin toss the first game and picked home and got home the third. Okay.
So whoever wins the coin toss picks it.
Apparently,
and then you get 2 games.
I guess because they weren't a super host. I don't know. Anyways, so we are still trying to work it out for us to go. I mentioned something to Reagan before the show, and I said, this is how it can be done and how, yes, you can still preach Sunday morning. You may be exhausted. Late night trip is what you may be tired.
A late night trip.
But we can break it down, okay?
Late night, early morning.
LSU is set to play 6 p.m. Saturday. I'm assuming that game would wrap up around 9 or so. So drive 4 hours, get halfway to Jonesboro.
The plan.
Get halfway to Jonesboro, stay the night somewhere, get up early, drive another 4 hours. And Reagan would be back for Sunday morning. Y'all tell me, should Reagan do it? Is he man enough to drive 4 hours in the night?
Wow.
Can Reagan handle it? Reagan, I'll drive. I'll let you sleep. I will drive the 4 hours. Okay. I'll drive part of the 4 hours. Okay. I can do it. I'll drive all 8 if you want me to. Okay. All right. We're going. I'm telling you, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Do a church podcast. That's hilarious. Maybe. So that's the half announcement. We are planning on going to Omaha, guys. It is a bucket list. We want to do it. I especially want to do it because Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan
Yeah,
Jordan
the chance
Thompson.
of this year is awesome. So
The chance of this year is awesome. I fully believe we need to make the investment to go, and even if it is exhausting, it'd be phenomenal to get to watch Paul Skeens pitch against Southern Miss or Tennessee, because I promise y'all it's going to be Paul. Well, I shouldn't say that because Jay Johnson is Jay Johnson, and he may switch it up on us like he did in the region. You never know. So that's the half announcement. The full announcement, the other big announcement that I wanted to make is that we will Tigers Avenue.
Whoa! You got You got a breaking news sound bit. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You have it.
Yeah, let me do that first. Breaking news.
God, I love that.
Tigers Avenue on Saturday before the game, probably Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, will be releasing an Omaha hype video, which I will currently start working on.
Let's go.
I've already worked on it a little bit, but really get in depth working on it tonight. We'll be working on that this entire week in my spare time, and we will be releasing an Omaha hype video for the LSU Tigers. I am so excited. Ryan Reagan said, if it's God's will, it will be done.
Sure.
That's true.
I don't know if God is so concerned about my late night trip, but
probably
but true. But true.
Troy Shockley said, "Let's go." Yeah, Troy. Listen, I don't know if you've seen. We've released some pretty good hype videos. I'm kind of patting myself on the back.
Yes. I'll do it for you. Zach.
Okay, that way I don't have to say anything.
Zach makes incredible hype videos.
Thank you.
And so if you haven't seen any of the hype videos, I would encourage you, number one, to go watch the football hype video from this past season that he released. And you need to go watch the baseball hype video narrated by none other than the great Chris Demouy, who's been on the show a few times for the baseball season this year. So those two hype videos are available on our YouTube channel, correct, Zach?
Yes.
Our YouTube channel.
The football hype video, it got a lot of views.
I got a lot of. I think like 100,000.
Over 100,000. Yeah,
over 100,000 views. Amazing hype videos. So go watch those two, and you'll be excited for what Zach's got made come Saturday. And it'll be a video that will definitely get you hyped. That'll definitely get you ready for Saturday night in Omaha. It's gonna be great. I promise you.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, I think that's all I got. I'm gonna go watch some Southern Miss and some Tennessee while I continue to work on the hype video.
Yep, I'm gonna do the same. Appreciate y'all joining in tonight. Got to show y'all something real quick. Y'all check this out.
Oh! The entire show,
the whole show. He's been slumbered.
Oh,
slumbered.
Baby Luca
been chilling with us the whole time.
Man, they need, like the Miami Heat needs a Luka right now. They're kind of struggling.
That's true.
Kind of on the ropes. Last I checked, it was 60-60, though. They have a chance to completely un-LSU related, but, Nuggets have a chance to take it home tonight.
Take it home tonight, yeah.
I honestly got to be honest, guys. If Grizzlies aren't in it, I don't really care that much. I'd rather watch Southern Miss Tennessee.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's just me.
I want to find out who LSU's opponent is. So, all right, guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate all y'all's comments again. Y'all are fantastic as always. Guys, LSU is freaking going to Omaha. We finally get to watch Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, Cade Beloso, Gavin Dugas, Jordan Thompson get their shot in Omaha. It's going to be freaking awesome. We are so pumped for them, and we're excited. And we will be previewing our opponent and all things Omaha come Friday night. So y'all be here or be square. If you're not here, you're a loser. Be looking out for Zach's hype video. We'll have an announcement. We'll tweet it out. We'll let you know when it's coming out.
Release Saturday to give myself the most amount of time.
Release Saturday morning to get you ready for that night. So we'll see you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. 5-Star Hero, take us out. Peace.
Who that 5-star? And the LSU Tigers, LSU Tigers.